Welcome back. We're back with another episode. It's episode 71, season two.
Wow.
It's your host, Sport, your guy with the most. I'm filling in for Ski today. We got Have here, and we got the lovely Ty with us today.
Hey y'all.
Welcome back, Ty.
Thank you. Thank you. I missed y'all. It's been a minute. It's been a
Yeah,
been a
minute.
while, right?
returning guest.
Yeah, I know. About a year ago, over a year ago. I'm happy to be back.
What
You
you
ain't
been
even had
up
to.
to?
You ain't even had to leave your house this time.
I know, right?
Exactly. I ain't had to travel to the boondocks.
Shit, neither one of us, because we all got to travel up
Yeah, that's sure,
to
for
the
sure.
Bat Cave.
That's a hike.
But I'm gonna try to do my best ski impression this week and try to fill in as we ramp up for season two and get this year started. And well, people don't know, and before we get into just Ty, but people don't know what like how instrument you gonna be into our process and our brand this year.
Absolutely.
Ty is on as our manager and our brand manager and our
Ooh,
agent
ooh, ooh,
and all this
ooh.
big agent stuff like
Yes.
so.
Big
So
manager.
yeah, we turned something
sure.
from an episode to a partnership. Yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Welcome. Thank you.
No, thank y'all. I'm really excited about it. I was thinking that too. I'm like, when are we gonna make this announcement? Like we've been kind
yeah,
of
for
Yeah.
sure.
keeping it hidden, but I was
I was
literally
going to
thinking,
ask that before we... Go ahead.
what you say?
I was going to ask that before we started. Was we announcing it today or
Yeah.
were we waiting?
No, it's been a long time coming though because we've been. I mean, we all spoke about it behind closed doors and stuff like that, and bios been updated and things of that nature. But it's good to like put a face to the name of the people because we always talk about some people that helping us, but it's good that our group know who you are, like not just they got somebody behind the scenes. Who that? Because a lot of time when we deal with our guests and stuff, they be like, "Who helping y'all?"
Right. Now they had a face to the name. But
Yeah.
thank y'all so much for trusting me with it. I'm really excited to see what we'll accomplish in these coming years. I'm
Yeah.
really
Thank you in advance.
Yeah, she already got stuff jumping and all that. Like, we
Yeah.
appreciate you for sure.
Yeah.
So how you well let's speak a little bit. I know you went to the PodCon with the Wallow
Oh,
PodCon.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had a rough month between the three of us, but Ty did a big thing and definitely showed up for us. And
Right. I
how
held y'all.
was just
For
that
sure.
experience in general?
It was really, really nice. Like, I didn't really know what to expect when I heard it. I don't know why I was thinking of like, you know how they had those conventions where you kind of go
Yeah.
from table to table and stuff. So I didn't realize it was like a presentation. But I like that, it was at the Met. So I don't think I ever been there before. So that was a new experience. They had a nice little setup. I felt safe going in there because nowadays we just gotta worry about stuff and just be cautious. So
Hmm.
I like that they, had security, whereas you walk through the metal detectors and stuff. So you felt a little more comfortable because it
Oh,
was
that's
a
good.
lot.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I mean, we was in North Philly, so come on.
Yeah. That's the thing now these days is so scared of crowds because crowds just equal
Right,
drama sometimes. So
right.
It make
And
you not want to go nowhere.
yeah.
exactly. And I don't want to think like that, especially this is my city, this is where I'm from, but we just in a different time. So I like that they just instantly made you feel safe, checking bags and making sure nobody could bring anything in. They had little setups, like a photo, not a photo booth, but like a backdrop.
Okay.
Didn't take any pictures, but they had a nice backdrop. They had where you could get food and drinks in the lobby. And they opened the doors like 2 hours before it started. So people could
Oh,
just
okay.
like
Oh, that's
mingle.
good.
Yeah, but I ended up getting there right on time. But I was really, really impressed with the people he brought on there. Like I sent y'all the information, but he brought like the founder of the Shade Room was there.
Okay.
One of the heads of YouTube was there. Um, he brought, of course, Charlemagne and his the president of the company. I forgot her name, but it was just a
Okay.
lot of powerful people, and I loved everything they were talking about because a lot of it, of course, was focused on the pod, but it also was talking about just business in general, especially for Black people. He was very encouraging. Wallow, like I saw him on Instagram a little bit, but I never really followed them or was into him too much. So when I first encountered him was at the PyCon, and he just was super inspiring and encouraging and was like just talking real talk. He got emotional a couple times, and I like when people get emotional when they talking about some significant stuff, because it just shows you their human side, especially with men, because y'all supposed to not cry and not show no emotion. Y'all gotta be just all the time. So the fact that he was really passionate about what he was doing and all the information he was giving, all that tea he was spilling, I was like, wow, like it was a really good event, and I was happy I was able to go.
I give them a lot of credit, Gilly and Wallow, because like they put their events together. Like you won't hear nothing about it, and it's like you heard about the PodCon and it was like you didn't hear about it all year. Then when you heard about it, it was coming, and like next month he put it together, and it's never like from that. Even the boxing thing they did, and the Gilly birthday bashes he was doing. Like I never hear people complain like, oh, it was last minute and it was like a piece of shit and they threw it together. It's always well put together. Even though it might be a 60 days out, like plan or something like that they come up with. Like they really execute.
Right.
And I want to bring that to like the things we do. So there's a lot of things they do that you can mirror and you could tell why they're so successful.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. One of the things he mentioned, which I already was thinking about this for my own business, but like he talked about the importance of giving free events to the community. Nowadays it's all about, running up the bag and trying to like people to pay into what you're trying to do. But when we're talking about Black people, it's important for us to support each other and to give us our community something where it don't cost nothing. Like if you're interested, of course you got to still pay attention. It costs you your time and your attention, of course, but it don't cost you nothing from your wallet. So I like that he emphasized that like we need to have more free events for our community versus always trying to run it up in terms of the money and the cost.
So that's what go ahead.
I was saying I think the free events will bring more people out too, because people are always looking for stuff to do that they don't have to spend a lot of money. So I think that'll definitely bring more people out.
That's what Kim from the Wholesome Black Girls podcast, that's what she always talk about. That's one of the biggest things she talk about on a podcast is just community impact. Like what type of impact do you make on people and stuff like that? Like how do you just not just have some people to listen to you or consider people fans, but you create a community surrounded by your podcast and the people that feel like they just a part of it as much as you are.
Right.
And that's a big goal for us. And we spoke about that even when we spoke about bringing you on, Taj, just like getting back to like, at the root, we are a dad podcast. Some days we talk a lot of dumb shit. Sometimes we talk a lot of crazy shit, but at the roots of it, we are three fathers, and that's big on us, and three men, and that's big on us too, the representation.
Right. Nah, for sure. And one thing, I think I put it in the notes, but I want to emphasize, Wallow did emphasize the importance of when you have a woman on your team, calling the shots. So I gotta say that, like y'all did a good thing, because he even said it wasn't coming from me. He said it. So
that was one of the important things for us when we was talking about it. Like I kept telling like the guys, I was like, we gotta get a woman. Like we need somebody to get our shit together. Like somebody that I was like. My thing was, I was like, we all got pride and we all feel like we could do something. We all think we good at it, or we got so much pride that we take on things that we not sure we can do, but we gonna take it on because that's our like a man's thing. Like I don't know if I can figure it out, but I'm gonna figure it out because that's what men do. And to have a woman that somebody can be like actually know what they doing, that means a lot to us. And we need somebody to tell us when we tripping a little bit, like because sometimes we might be going too far.
We need that balance.
But let's get into it though, because we're not gonna make it all just about the business side of it. People been craving for episodes, and we told them we was back, and we're gonna talk some regular stuff. We will have a day though where Ty, we want to have you back, and you can get into more what you doing, which I think is great too. And we'll give you your own time for that. We don't want to skip you over for that.
I'm gonna need all the time. I need all the time. That sounds really good. I'm excited to share it with y'all for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But the big thing, that's something that was going on that resurfaced after it would hit the internet over, I want to say over like the fall, with this lady being attacked. I want to give you her real name because the internet just calling her Brick Lady. Rada Osman. So she was attacked and she made a viral TikTok stating that she was hit by a brick from a man that was trying to ask for her number. She refused to give him the number. He hit her with a brick, and there was other black men standing around and didn't do nothing. Mm-hmm. And not only was she upset about the assault, but just the fact that like women weren't being protected in the whole layout of it and how things played out. And it started a big thing between people all over the shade rooms and other media outlets, just talking about how, you know, men need to step up to the plate and women are not seen and things of that nature. And I believe all that is true. Fast forward, the story comes out is that another fellow TikToker did like an investigation on it, and come to find out there's a little flaws in her story. And it's not the first time she's done a story like this. It was another story where she did in, I want to say New Orleans. That's where it was, where she was saying that she was beat up and they was doing a GoFundMe and she was running up money. And how y'all feel about that though? Like just the whole aspect of it. And hey, let's get your opinion first. How you feel about like the whole premises of her lying, and does it water down the whole thing with like women trying to feel like they're not protected? And like, you know, like almost a person crying wolf, how does that affect something going forward?
I think the way she did it was wrong. I understood the message like she was trying to get out there that women ain't protected, this, that, and third, but the way she did it, going about lying about and all that, and I know it came out that she was lying, but then it was like stories saying that it might be true, this, that, and third, but
yeah, it was some type of assault. It wasn't to that. Yeah,
she got into a car with somebody. They
hit her with like a water bottle. Yeah, she hit him
the
first.
Yeah, and then you know, he hit her back. We hit her with a water bottle, and then she blew it, the whole thing up. And then when, as far as what she get charged with fraudulent activity for the GoFundMe thing now.
Right.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I feel like her message, like trying to draw awareness to women being unprotected, was a good thing, but the way she went about it was wrong, because accusing somebody of doing something like that could have really fucked somebody's life up. So
right.
That definitely was wrong the way she went about it. And a lot of people doing stuff for clout, and clearly that was a clout chase right there. So
and a money grab
and a
too.
Money play. Yeah, that was a money play too. But again, like it was her second time. I think GoFundMe didn't catch her the first time, but
right,
caught her this time.
What you think, Ty?
Yeah.
So I think the whole story is just kind of, I don't know, it's interesting. I do feel like it was a money grab, because I think she ended up getting like $40,000. Like that was how much she raised. But I believe I read that they returned all the money back to the donors. But
yeah, that's the way she tried to evade the charges. Is she said that she didn't personally set the GoFundMe up. So she didn't do the fraud, and then she said she never received the money. It was still in the holding of the GoFundMe, like you said, it was returned.
Right. Yeah, I mean, when a story first came out on social media, her face looked crazy. Like,
yeah, it did.
She got hit in the face with a brick.
Yeah, it does look like something, not a water bottle. It looked like she was hit harder than that.
It looked bad.
That's what made it so believable, though, because her face was tore up.
Right. So, of course, you know, I think, especially being a Black woman, is sad, but it didn't surprise me. Like, let's assume she was telling the truth. It didn't surprise me, because there are a lot of, you know, situations where, you know, a Black woman could be out partying or just even out on a regular day, and let's say somebody try to come at her, and, you know, I'm assuming a Black man trying to come at her, and she rejects him. And sometimes it gets violent or it gets a little hostile. So I have heard of women I know personally that says like they won't ever like refuse to link or not link up, get the number. Like they'll just get the guy's number and they ended up blocking them later because they don't want to like say no, and then it could turn into something crazy. So, you know, it's sad that like we do have to deal with that on a regular basis, which I think again is why it was so believable that this guy couldn't take rejection at well, ended up assaulting her. And then I didn't even realize that more information came out until I was doing my own research. And I just feel like it does bring up something that's violent, but like you said, it's a shame because then it makes women less, Black women less believed, you know, when it does really happen. I do feel like Black women need to be protected more. We need to be catered to more and feel supported, and not just by people we know. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be
Right.
out and feel like if a guy is getting aggressive or you just feeling uncomfortable, another man, and it really doesn't matter if he's black or white, but you want to feel like you have that protection because safe men just give a certain amount of protection where women feel like, wow, like I'm good. I don't gotta worry too much. But because he's gonna step up. But in that case, the fact that it wasn't true just makes it kind of like, well, what was the point of that? If it wasn't for money, what was it for? Because it
Yeah.
was assault, like we said. I mean, it's not like nothing happened. Like she was, I guess, going back and forth with this guy, and now that's domestic violence stuff, and this is real life. Like women are really having to deal with that. So I just don't understand what the purpose was if it
Yeah.
wasn't about the money.
And it like from what I was reading, it's like a night out, too much alcohol, and yeah, and it led to like they knew each other. And it wasn't the story of like, oh, we just he was trying to get my number. It was more of the story of we had a disagreement after a night at the club or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But I mean, either way, I think in too many times people, the fear of intervening with domestic stuff, like I've heard a lot, and I've said it myself too. Like when you see a man and a woman going through stuff, sometimes it's best to mind your business because you don't know when you intervene what did that lead to.
Right.
But you also has a responsibility as a man, and when you see things going too far, that it is a thin line of intervening, maybe not even to assault the man, but just get the man to stop assaulting the woman if that's the case. Like yo, like, you know, that's
See,
it.
I've been in a situation like that before where we would sit on the step and these two, I guess it was a couple, they was fighting or whatever, and I'm talking about they getting in. So we go over there to stop the guy, like, yo, chill, like that's a lady or whatever the case may be. We pull him off. He like, look, I'm trying to get away from her. She's drawn. So we get up, we break him up to the third. She run right back over and start going right back at it. So
yeah, see, it's a tricky
walking away, like we try to help you, we try to get him off you, but you gotta stop too. Like you can't just, you know what I mean? And you can't just keep hitting him and think he's not going, retaliate or whatever.
Right. That's the problem I feel sometimes, where no one should be putting hands on anybody both ways. You know what I mean? Because yes, we know men are stronger, so y'all can do more damage. Most of the times, I'm not saying some women, they go to the gym and they be getting it in.
They
gonna give you a run for your money. But I feel like you shouldn't nobody should be putting their hands on anybody else because I feel like it don't matter if man or woman, you can only take that but so many times before you lose it or black out. And then now when he go in, it's like, oh, but I'm a woman. But sis, you was kind of antagonizing him. Like even if you just said like, you should respect that you had men who was trying to make sure you were safe. But if you just want to be violent and do all of that, then I just don't know what you expect. Like
what else could we do?
It's hard to, like, in your situation have like it was a couple of y'all and it's easier to intervene with stuff like that. But when you meet two people on 10 and it's like you trying to come in, a lot of times that man is still aggressive. You got to find a way to cool him down. Like I'm trying to save you from making things worse, and I'm also trying to save the woman. But a lot of times too, like women they open the door. Not always, but you can't open the door to violence. Like once you put your hand on a person, it opens up the door for someone putting their hands back on you, regardless, right or wrong, because it's always a time where somebody may black out or maybe a person just respond to being hit by hitting back. That's not to say it's right at all, but you cannot open the door. That's why I'm always like steadfast on like just keep your hands to yourself. You can say what you want, even though words hurt too. But you can say what you want, but keep your hands to yourself because that's the stuff that get people in way more trouble than what something small might be or whatever the case may be.
Right. And I think that also goes both ways. It's not always women that start with putting their hands on a man. Sometimes the man could do that to her and that's triggering. Let's say this is not her first situation, in a domestic violence kind of relationship. So the moment, let's say you shove her or you do something that you don't